Hi everyone, Dr. S here. This is an assignment overview for Venture Project 2 for E4s. And here you're going to be developing your own venture, as you know. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to discover your values venture fit that you have in terms of connection of you with the venture that you're going to be spending the next 3 quarters on. And in this process, we hope to be able to achieve this overarching goal. So let's take a look at it. By the end of this quarter, you'll have an early stage venture that fits with you and your chosen entrepreneurship and innovation track. So either the entrepreneurial leadership track or the entrepreneurial founders track that achieves evidence-based problem solution fit and has undergone at least one test for product market fit. So by the end of doing Venture Project 2, you'll have moved through phase 1 of the Z model, and you will be in a position where you have full understanding of all the components of the big idea canvas, and that you're able to actually take a minimally viable version of your product or service and place it in front of people in a way that tests whether the market would respond in a way you want it to. And so you're getting both problem solution fit, so you know that who the customers are, what their problems are that you're trying to address, and have an offering that addresses those. So that's problem solution fit. And then we move on to product market fit, where you take that product and you actually touch the marketplace with at least one test. So if you look in here, really your learning objectives from the syllabus cover pretty much all of the basic things that we learned from E1 through E3. The whole thing has been building up so that you can actually start taking your ventures forward. And that includes, of course, BICs, venture value proposition canvases, business model canvases, SWOT analysis, all of which are available. There's tools for all of these things in the toolkit online, and there are videos that we've built for this or other materials that we have found that will be helpful for you. These learning objectives, of course, come from the syllabus. You can take a look at those. As with all of our different venture projects, there'll be a pitch. This pitch is pretty much what you understand and know. And for your case, it just needs to be able to really get clear on the problem solution fit and your test about your minimum viable product into the marketplace. Same sort of pitch parameters. And what's kind of cool with the way that we've been setting up these assignments are we're trying to flush out more about the deliverable area for your minimum expectations for the pitch and for all the different areas. So you can just click on that and you can take a look going down. Of course, we have the learning journey video. This is pretty much what you've experienced before, so there's not much else to tell you there. The business report, we're going to continue on with this, and the business report is an organized way of being able to present what the purpose of your overall project was, how you went about approaching it, the evidence that you found from your different types of tests and your hypotheses of your hypotheses, conclusions that you're drawing, the iterations you're making with your different tools, whether they be components of the BIC, the VPC, or the BMC. And that's all contained in the business report, and that's a story that you're telling us so that someone could look at just that document and understand your venture. And remember, we have minimum expectations in terms of how many pre-prototype and post-prototype interviews you're doing, because we want you to get out of the building and go interview people. You can, of course, use surveys and those sorts of tools as well. We have be happy to help you with that. That sort of stuff should get included in the overall evidence locker and in your report when it supports things. But we want you to go out and interview because we want you to practice that, and we want at least 3 evolved versions of your big idea canvas in your venture and your value proposition canvas. And the value proposition canvas is something that we are now emphasizing strongly from E1 on. And so that's something, if you're not as familiar with, you'll want to get familiar with and watch the videos and ask me more questions about it. Then, of course, there's the evidence locker. Now, the evidence locker has a very specific purpose. If you look here, the purpose is to hold the material that will grade. This will get uploaded to Google Drive, and then it has then these subfolders. And this is slightly modified from what you've seen before, but it's pretty much parallel and consistent. So you have this main team folder, and inside that folder you have 3 subfolders: the business report itself, learning journey video, and then appendices. And let's talk to you a little bit about appendices. Appendices are meant to be material that's supportive, but maybe doesn't go in the flow of the business report. It also holds evidence, anything that you're referring to in your pitch that comes up in the Q&A, in the learning journey video, in the report itself. Material that's referred to needs to go into those appendices, and you can label those appendices so that you can refer to them in those different areas, particularly the business report. And so make sure that you include those things. And if you look down in our minimum expectations, there's even more information on this. The grading rubric overall is the same, and what is really important is that you take a look at the grading rubric specifically inside Canvas that has the clarity about how we're using that to grade your overall work. And that rubric inside Canvas is something that the graders use, and they click right onto those boxes. The points add up, and if you hit basic expectations, which gets you to a B, that's great. And then there's a final piece at the end of that for things that you do that go above and beyond expectations, which can take you into A territory level. But if you hit the basic expectations that are on the list here, that is a good job. As it says here, competence and understanding demonstrated, missing minor things or deliverables, but everything's pretty much good quality. And A is setting the standard that's going above and beyond these basic expectations of a good job. And then moving on, you have, of course, our late policies and that sort of thing that you have seen before. And then we have the minimum expectations. You should read through all of this for the pitch, for the learning journey video, for the business report, and for the evidence locker. Particularly, things are important that you want to look in here and talk to me about things that might be very specific to E4. And we know that you're basically starting, most everyone is starting from scratch, and you're trying to understand which direction you're going to go. And what we're going to really try to work on this quarter and quarters going forward is being able to get traction so that you actually get to the place where you're hitting this overarching goal, rather than being frozen by indecision about what you're supposed to be doing because you're working on by yourself, or this is the first time you're driving a team forward or trying to have to do this by yourself. So without being assigned to a team like you are in E1, E2, and E3. So reach out to me, reach out to Meg, reach out to the rest of the team if you have questions. And if there's any sort of things that need to be clarified or there seems like inconsistencies, just talk to me and we'll get that straightened out. All right, go out and do great things.